Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and to another reading journal video. Today, as you can see, I am going to be journaling and talking to you about the King of Scars Duology. And first off, can I just say, why did they make these two books in different sizes? It's just a huge pet peeve for me, and I think for a lot of other bookish people as well. But that just on the side. I think the books themselves are really good, but more on that later in the video. So if you've seen any other reading journal videos from me, you'll know that I will try to kind of talk to you at the same time about what I'm doing in the spread and what I thought about the books. So let's get into it. Oh, and just to warn you, this is not a spoiler-free review, so if you haven't read the books, then stop the video now and come back later. So starting off, I cut out and glued in both covers of the books, and then I got started on some individual collages for the three main characters of the books, which are Nikolai, Zoya and Nina, and I did some collages for each of them, representing their characters and their journey throughout the books. So for Nikolai I did a castle but also a thornwood to represent both books. For Zoya I did a thunderstorm, a crown and a dragon for obvious reasons. And for Nina I did a white wolf, some skulls and bones and some ice. And as you can see, I also did some line art for each of the characters, just really simply in Procreate on my iPad to represent them, but there aren't any faces or anything, and also no color, just a really rough outline, and that I just put with the respective collages. And another thing I also put were some quotes that fit each of them, and these are some of my favorite quotes from the books in general. And then I also added one more quote and a new section to my favorite pairing from the duology, which is Zoya and Nikolai. I really loved them together. And I also did a new section where I wrote down my favorite character, who is Zoya. And I have to say, I really didn't like her in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which I guess was kind of the point, but in this duology, when we get to know her a little better and kind of know more about her past, she really grows on you, and she's just so powerful and so cool. Her abilities by the end are just incredible, and I really liked reading her as a character, and I also think she's a very complex female character, which is great to read in these books. And now for a more in-depth review of the books, of what I thought about them. Some of my favorite moments were when Zoya and Nikolai finally kissed, when Zoya was made queen, and when Zoya became one with the dragon. And because I'm a huge Six of Crows fan, I think they're the best books from the Grishaverse. I also really liked the Catadam heist they did with some of the crows. And then, like I always do in my reading journal spreads, I created a top and a meh section, as I call it, to write down some positive and negative things that I wanted to remember about the books. So some things I really liked about the books were that the plot was really exciting in my opinion. I couldn't put the books down once I started. There were some really complex main characters, like I already mentioned with Zoya, and also a large number of really great side characters. There were multiple queer love stories, some trans representation, as I already mentioned, the Zoya and Nikolai love story, Zoya's character arc in general. I loved that Alina and Mel and the Crows, of course, made a cameo. And what I always like about books is when they have different POV chapters, which is what these books do, and also Six of Crows. And I really like that, because you get to know each character a little more in depth. But there were also some things I didn't like about the books in particular. The biggest thing was that I really think the story didn't need the Darkling to come back. I didn't like him in Shadow and Bone in the first place, not as a romantic partner for Alina and not as a villain even. And I think he was really unnecessary to this story. And also the whole Yuri thing, in my opinion, was a bit annoying, but that's just me. And other than that, I noticed that there was a lot of politics in there. They were talking strategy and what to do at their diplomatic dinners and how to win the war, which was interesting, but it was just a lot, so keep that in mind. But overall, I really liked this duology, and I gave both of them actually 5 stars, as you can see in my spread. And I still think Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom is a bit better, but these are my second favorite books from the Grishaverse, so they were really, really good, especially if you know all the characters already from reading the other book series from the Grishaverse. So I recommend reading these. If you're a fan of the Grishaverse, I will also link for you my Shadow and Bone reading journal spread and review, and my Six of Crows duology reading journal review videos for you above and in the description below. Check those out and leave a thumbs up. And now we've arrived at the end of this video. Here's another more in detail look at the whole spread. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, hearing me talk about my thoughts about the books. If you have anything you want to say about the books, I would love to read your opinions, so put those down in the comments. And of course, I would be so happy if you gave this video a thumbs up and considered subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. I also have an Instagram where I post a lot of bullet journal content if you're into that. And of course, I will look forward to seeing you here on my channel for my next video. Until then, stay safe and stay creative. Bye!